Ever wonder where the magic actually happens for an INFP? Not the highlight reel version, not the artsy dreamer staring out a window stereotype, but the real place where ideas are born, emotions are sorted, and meaning quietly takes shape. Because here's the truth most people miss. An INFP's creativity doesn't live out loud. It lives behind invisible walls. And those walls aren't about isolation, they're about protection. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the INFP's hidden world, the real and imagined sanctuaries where their creativity breathes, where their values sharpen, and where their inner universe stays alive in a world that doesn't always make room for it. If you're an INFP, this might finally put words to something you've always felt, but never explained. And if you love or work with an INFP, this might help you understand why they disappear, and why that disappearing is actually where the magic happens. If you enjoy deep, validating MBTI content that goes beyond surface traits and actually honors how people experience the world, hit like, tap subscribe, and drop INFP in the comments if this feels personal already. Because here on Personality IRL, we don't just describe personalities, we explore the inner worlds people rarely get credit for. Let's step inside the INFP's sanctuary. One of the most misunderstood things about INFPs is their need for space. Not space in the I don't like people sense, but space in the my ideas need room to breathe before they're ready for the world sense. For INFPs, creativity doesn't arrive on command. It unfolds slowly, quietly, and often privately. Their inner world is constantly processing emotions, values, stories, and meaning, layered, complex, and deeply personal. This is why their need for solitude goes beyond typical introversion. It's not just about recharging energy, it's about protecting fragile ideas before they're fully formed. An INFP sanctuary is often less about a physical room and more about a mental state. A sense of psychological safety where there is no pressure to explain, justify, or perform. And that can be incredibly difficult to maintain in a world that rewards speed, output, and constant visibility. INFPs often grow up feeling like their inner process is too slow, too sensitive, or too impractical. So they learn to guard it. They build invisible walls, not to shut people out, but to keep their inner ecosystem intact. While the sanctuary is a state of mind, many INFPs still anchor it in physical space. A cozy corner of a bedroom where the lighting is soft and the outside world feels far away. A desk layered with personal objects, half-finished notebooks, and quiet reminders of what matters. A hidden garden bench, a window seat, or even the same corner table at a familiar coffee shop where they feel anonymous but inspired. These spaces are rarely minimalist or trendy for the sake of aesthetics. They're intentional. Lighting matters. Harsh overhead lights disrupt the mood. Warm lamps, natural light, or candle glow help the mind drift instead of brace. Textures matter. Soft fabrics, worn pages, natural materials, things that feel lived in rather than polished. Sound matters. Often quiet, sometimes instrumental music, sometimes ambient noise that fades into the background, just enough to let thoughts surface. And nature matters deeply. Plants, fresh air, trees outside a window, anything that reminds them of something organic and alive. These environments don't just look comforting, they feel emotionally permissive. They allow the INFP to think without interruption, feel without explanation, and create without pressure. Not all INFP sanctuaries exist in the physical world. Some exist entirely in the digital realm. Curated Pinterest boards filled with images that evoke a feeling they can't quite name yet. Private Notion dashboards where ideas, quotes, and half-formed concepts live without judgment. Personal playlists that map emotional landscapes better than words ever could. These digital spaces aren't about productivity. They're about resonance. They help INFPs externalize their inner world just enough to make sense of it, without exposing it too soon. And then there are the dreamscapes, the imagined worlds, characters, alternate realities, and internal narratives that INFPs retreat into when reality feels too loud or too shallow. This isn't escapism in the way people assume. It's emotional processing. Stories allow INFPs to explore truth safely. Fantasy allows them to examine values without consequences. Art and music become portals to internal landscapes where feelings can be experienced fully instead of suppressed. This is often where their most profound insights come from. not through logic, but through symbolism. INFP sanctuaries don't function without ritual, not rigid routines, but gentle rhythms that signal to the mind, it's safe to open now. Journaling is a common gateway, not to document events, but to untangle feelings. Pages become conversations with themselves, honest, unfiltered, and deeply grounding. Music is another ritual. Specific songs that unlock certain emotional states. Albums that feel like old friends. Soundtracks to inner worlds no one else can see. Nature walks often serve as moving sanctuaries. The body moves while the mind wanders. Thoughts organize themselves without force. Many INFPs protect these rituals fiercely, even if they don't fully articulate why. They instinctively know that without them, something essential begins to dry up. These moments aren't indulgences, they're maintenance. They recharge emotional batteries, restore clarity, and allow INFPs to return to the world aligned with who they actually are, not just who they're expected to be. INFPs are selective about who they invite into their inner world, not because they're secretive, but because sharing too early can feel like emotional exposure without consent. When they do share, whether it's a poem, a story, an idea, or a deeply personal perspective, it's an act of trust. They're not looking for applause, they're looking for understanding. And when they find people who respect the sanctity of their process, something powerful happens. Their creativity expands instead of retreats. Their ideas gain confidence instead of shrinking. This is where INFPs thrive, when their inner world is met with patience instead of pressure, curiosity instead of critique. And for viewers watching this who aren't INFPs, there's something here for you too. Everyone needs a sanctuary, a place, physical or mental, where you can exist without performance. Creativity doesn't belong to one type, but honoring your inner space is how it survives. So if you're an INFP watching this and thinking, wow, that's exactly it, know this. Your hidden world isn't a weakness. It's where your depth comes from. The quiet spaces you protect are not avoidance. They're incubation chambers for meaning, empathy, and vision. And if you've ever felt out of place in a loud, fast world, that doesn't mean you don't belong. It means you carry something that needs a different kind of environment to flourish. Now it's your turn. If you're an INFP, comment below and tell us. What does your sanctuary look like? A physical space, a playlist, a routine, or something entirely internal? And if this video made you feel seen, understood, or gently affirmed in a way that stuck with you, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here on Personality IRL, we don't just talk about personality types. We honor the worlds they carry inside. Protect your sanctuary, that's where your magic lives.